You like Trump? Good girl. You like Biden? Alright, I'm trying to give a little educational video I have. Probably one of the dumbest persons you meet, but and my word don't count for shit, but whatever, I'm gonna go for it. Sorting stations. I started out with this little wood burning kit, and it burns the tips up on them thing because it stays hot the whole damn time. Whatever temperature that is, probably 800 degrees. Used it for God knows how long. Still got it. Lost a screw right out and that damn little copper welded in there. And still got it. I don't know why it still works. Mr. Black got me this. Really good unit. For bigger stuff. Works great. I got a soldering iron that you pull the trigger like Tech 9 uses. I used one of them for a while when I very first started. I don't know how he can use that big bulky thing, but I did, and he does too, and that's just what he likes. But this works really good. I wouldn't. I would buy it anytime, any day of the week. I had a Weller. Somebody gave me a Weller. I don't know what model it was, but it was pretty good. But it burned up on the. It burned up when quit working, and I just threw it away. And then Mr. Black bought 5 or 6 of the Weller 1010s, I think is what they are, and gave them out to people. And I got one of them, and that thing didn't even bit more get hot before that came apart. Now I don't know if this happens on all of them, but I know on mine, and another person I know got one of them. He has done the same thing, and this was just minutes after it. I just pulled it up, turned it on, and started tinning the end on it. I always tin the end on them, and it already done got loose and started falling out. So maybe a manufacturer defect. They might have fixed it by now, but I would never buy another damn Weller. Never. Never again. Well, I went to a friend of mine gave me this Weller solder sucker. This works really good. No issues with this. You can put it in the unit, take it anywhere you want to. It's got the power cord and everything for it. Everything's in there. Power cord goes in here. You turn it on. It's ready to go. It's got the little stand for it that bolts right there. Works good. Then I went to this unit here, and I liked it because I didn't know no better. I got this unit here, and it worked great. No troubles. Everything worked perfect. Set the temperature whatever you want to, and it's ready to go. And I thought I was living in high shit when I got this one. But it would always get mill scale on the end of it, and you'd have to clean the tip, and you'd have to use this shit here to re-tin it and scrape that shit off of it and put solder on it. And I got to watching the gatekeeper video, and he always said keep solder on the tip, and this solder's still on the tip. And it make them last longer, and it did. And got talking to Fat Cat, and me and him was talking about soldering stations, and he got to saying that he had to trim his down so that the element would go all the way down on the it's got an element in here, which is one of these. That's a little ceramic element, and it goes in there, and it gets the tip hotter because it's just sitting not on it. So I had to trim that down with a sander and slide it down on it. Then you have to modify the collar, and that was done with a socket. That's not the prettiest job, but it works. Uh, this is right much shorter than the other one. I had to trim it off and then re-shrink it down where it would hold the tip. But ghetto, but it worked. Uh, this tip won't come off this one now, and you get it hot, it'll come off. But you got the wand, and then so you got the wand, and then you know the element will be sticking up through there, and then you got this thing, and then you got which Fat Boy sells all this shit for these. The little cheaper unit he's got, it's pretty much identical to this one, but I think this is a little bit better. I've had one of them units too. But well, they'll rust after they sit there and stay hot for so long. This one's got an element trapped up inside of it. And this one, you can't get the element out of it. I've tried getting that out, and it's just rusted up in there. Because this thing just sits here and sits at whatever temperature you got it at, and it stays at temperature. It don't cool back down. It'll get the elements funky looking in just a minute. This one in here is really bad for one. I walked off and left this running for about 2 days with it on. Come back and that's what the tip looked like. And that was a Heiko tip, not one of the cheap ones. There's some of the cheap ones in here. Get a pack. These don't do very well. I mean, if you don't keep the unit on, if you're just going to use it a little bit, say 20-30 minutes or an hour, 2 hours, and then turn the unit off, these work pretty good. But if you're going to use it all day long, no. But then you got this, you got to put an element in it. So you got to buy an element, you got to buy this collar, that, so if they go bad. And then you got to buy this thing because they will rust and corrode. And sometimes they get loose in there and it'll pop out. But it's cheaper stuff. You can buy this whole unit for $100. So, and that makes that up, which that's loose. I don't know why. I don't know. But it's the consumables will eat you up on this one if you work with it all the time. The tip get black and it just, I don't know. I like it, but I don't like it. And I sure as hell don't like it now. I mean, it's decent. I painted this one up, by the way. It was blue. I ain't even bolted the top on it back on it yet, but it was blue, and I thought it looked better red. It showed wear, and I just thought I could paint it up, make it look a little better. But it was good. And then I got up with a company called Matcal because of Chris. And a representative hooked me up with this. I got up with the company, emailed them, and had to wait. They finally got back with me, and I told them I wanted to demo one. I had a YouTube channel, and I wanted to demo one of the new models, and this is this one. And I think still to this day, I'm the only one in the United States that's got one of these units, I think. I've seen a couple YouTube videos on it. You can look it up, GT120 Matcal. And I think it's another video out there of this, maybe 2, but I think they're in the UK. As far as the United States, I think I'm the only one. At least I talked to him about 6 months ago, and he said I was the only one still with this unit in the United States. But I got this unit. It's 120 watt. It's the bomb. it's the bomb. If you get a representative and they can, or if you making good money, uh, doing whatever you're doing, this is the bomb for his big heavy duty work. Which this will do. This will adjust any temperature between 500 to 900 degrees. And it's, as far as I know, the only Mac cow that, well, this one and the 90, they got a GT90 and a GT120, and you can adjust the temperature on them without, some of them, the tip is the temperature. Like the next unit I'm getting ready to show you, it's got a special tip in it, and that sets the temperature for it, and so on. But this one, when you put it on the station, I don't know how it does it, but this station goes into rest mode. You can set it on here. It'll rest at 500, 550, 600, 700, whatever you want to set the rest at, you can set it at. And what you can set the three different temperatures, like 600, 700, and 800. And it's like you do is punch a button, and it'll go down. So if you're at 800 and you want to go down to 600, you push that button, it'll go down to that temperature. You press that button again, it goes up to 700. You press that button again, it goes up to 800. Whatever temperature you got it set at, you can program them in there. Pretty cool. Um, Never had to go through another tip. These are made in Germany, I think. It's what they said on the website. Best I can remember. Maybe wrong, but uh, it takes an element on the inside of it, like this, and I think they're about $60 for an element. Because it's a new unit. They run so some of the consumables might be cheaper now. I've had this thing for 3 years or so. And the only problem I had with this one was the wand. This collar here slides down into a tube, and I guess it's press fit. But when you get to tightening this down, or when you get to using it, the heat and everything, I guess, transfers up over through everything, and it gets loose after a while. But this one, probably 6 months of use for it, got loose. And I told my representative about it, and he sent me another wand, which I got about 4 of them, and he TIG welded them. Put 3 little TIG spots on it. It's very little. And that helped out, got great for a while. And I broke it. And broke the little TIG welds. So I went to a friend of mine. He's got a TIG machine. I don't know whether it's titanium or what. I don't know. But he TIG'd it, and it's held, not came apart. And I got him to TIG the other ones too. It don't look great, because he didn't know what kind of metal it was, didn't know what kind of gas to put to it, and he just did what he did. But it works. This little part here slid out of this one, but didn't slide out of the rest of them. I got a piece of heat shrink over this one. This is the only one that one slid out of. It's got a good grip on it. Good soft grip. Works good. And they got a different element, that the element is got the tip already built on it, like the ones over here for this other unit. The tip's built on it. This is the element and everything built in one. The tip's already built on it. So if you can get it, this one don't get quite as hot as the one with the tip built on it. This one has to transfer the heat from the element to the tip. And whether you know it or not, when you take this tip and you touch it to a piece of metal, you got to heat that metal up and transfer heat. And you got to have a unit that will keep up with that. It's like the Heiko will cool down, and then it'll have to ramp up. And it ramps up like really slow. These ramp up instantly. And when you put them back on the stand, it goes into rest mode. And then when you pick it up, it comes right back to temperature. It's ready to solder, ready to go. This is the shit if I can afford the consumables for this thing. It's the shit. It's got a separate power supply. This unit don't have a power supply built in it. This is the power supply for it, like on a computer. It's got plenty of cord either way. You can put this wherever you want. No trouble. Got about 3 foot of cable from this, and you pull it over here, and then of course this is separate. You can have this set anywhere you want to. You can work here and put it back. I like this like that. Some of them's built on them, and you have to move the whole unit. Screw that shit. I'd rather have it like this, out separate. But that's my choice. And then the guy that my representative, he quit working with this company and went to work with this company here, Thermotronics. This here, and if you look up a Metcal like Metcal MX500, it's pretty much like this. This is 2 units in one. This unit here, you have by another wand, another station, and you can plug it in here, flip its switch, go to this end, and have a different tip on it. These tips, the red is the hottest, I think the blue is the middle, and the yellow may have those colors mixed up, but they're different temperatures, like 600, 700, and 800. But you can put it to this one, you'll have 600 degrees on the other one, 800 on this one. But this one here works really great. The station has a magnet, and I dropped something on it and it stuck to it, and I didn't even know it was in there. But I think that's what makes it go to sleep. It's the only thing I know why that magnet would be in there, because it don't really hold the wand in. It's a little floppy in there, but not too bad. You have to get it way out here. It's a good station. Every now and again I don't hit it, but it's pretty much got a good resting station. Works great. If you got the money, I think these, I just looked them up, I think these is about $450, and the Metcal's about $500. The consumables for this one, which is the tips, this unit here, it's pretty simple. I've never had any trouble with the wand on this one. It's always been ready to go. Simple little plug-in on this one. It's a little pin in the middle, and the out edge is ground, I guess, like a piece of coax. The Metcal is got a like realistic radio mic plug on it, and it's kind of flimsy, but never had too much trouble with it. It just seems like it's kind of sloppy, and where this one ain't. This one's good and tight. I'd like for this one to have like a mic plug on it, where it's got the, you know, like a 4-pin, or 8-pin, whatever. Stick it up on that and then tighten it down on it. That would make a nicer unit, I think. So if you was to pull against it, this one, it don't rock or anything. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but I do it. While it's hot, if I need to change the tip, I just grab the sponge, take the tip off, stick it over in here, grab my other tip, stick it in there, and like the Metcal, it won't come back. This one will come back, and start getting this element hot, and you're ready to go. The Metcal, you have to shut it off, cut it back on. If you change out elements of this, that, and the other, it goes into protection mode. This one don't. It comes with a pad that was built on here that stayed in the way, so I took it off of there so you could grab the pad and the silicone and pull the element out, but I just use the sponge. These little sponges, I get them from Dollar General. and cut them to fit in the pocket. Works out good. This is easy to put that. That's just from Dollar General too. I don't even think it came with any of this when I got it. But this was a unit that I got on consignment, and I guess I got to keep it because it's been 2 years and I ain't asked for it back. So, anyways, this unit here gets hot really quick. Since it already started smoking, this then took solder already, and it's always ready to go. Now it's setting at about, now I don't know what temperature this is. It's showing load at like 16, but when you touch this solder to it, it goes up. Or if you touch metal, it senses it and starts getting hot again. But when you ain't using it, put it on that stand, it goes into rest mode. As soon as you pick it up, it gets hot again, and it's ready to go every time. Every time. Never fails. Goes into rest mode. It heats up stuff way better. You can take stuff out, but bam, 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 bam. I try to be easy with it so I don't break the, you can be like a pry bar. I'm kind of heavy-handed, and you can break one of the elements, so I try to be easy with it. And plus, you don't want to slip and get solder all the way across the damn board or whatever you're working on. You try to be easy with it if you can. It's not a screwdriver. You gotta work with it like you're supposed to. And like I said, I'll take that, pull it out, get the other element, stick it in, and just as quick as you can grab the solder, it pretty much starts taking it. This is a bigger element. It's like the biggest one they sell for it, I think. It takes a little bit more time to get this one hot than it does, say, a little one. But you can get like any kind of tip you want for it. Pointed, chiseled. That's the biggest chisel I think you can get for it. It's kind of short, but I've figured out that you can take the, if you need to get in a tight space, you can take the rubber handle off of it and get into some tighter spaces with it. Like that. That's in a pinch. But yeah, if you got the money and you want a really good one, and this is what I'd get. I think this is a 40 or 60 watt unit. I can't remember. You can look it up. It is the model number on it is T as in Tom, M as in Mike, T as in Tom, dash 9000 S dash 1. You got 2 units in one. You just have to buy another stand, and I call wand, I guess that's what you call it. Harry Potter wand. It comes with good flexible cable. It don't really pick up a lot of trash off the table. It's silicone, I think. But really good unit. If you're looking for something and to buy one time and buy right when you buy it, that. And I looked up these elements for it. This is the chisel one, the big one. Looked up these elements, and I found them for $17 a piece. I don't forgot where I bought them, but I looked them up. Looked up the part number off the one of the elements that's got it wrote on it. Got them clearly wrote on them. You can't see it on camera, but it wrote on it, engraved with it, laser engraved on there, and it kind of gold. So the camera's hard to pick them up, but pretty cheap on consumables. So, and I've not went through but one consumable since I had it, and I've been had it for 2 years. I've had one to go bad. But now these are earth ground units. This one and the Matcow, and I guess the Heiko too probably. But if you're working an amp and the cap hadn't fully discharged or something, and you go in and touch this to it, it will maybe on the Matcow, I know it did. It burned up a tip. I seen it arc and instantly burned the tip up. And the reason it did is because it had earth ground, and I ran them off of a isolation transformer, and it quit doing it. And then I just cut the ground off the unit so it didn't have ground. Maybe that's not a good idea, but I quit burning up elements, at least on that unit, the Matcow. This one I try to watch what I'm doing because of the Matcow, the trouble I had with it. But okay, there you go. That's my recommendation. Either this or this. You go spend some money, but if you want a powerhouse, go with that one. If you want a good trusty unit, go with this. This is newer, and they may not have fixed the trouble that I had with it, but it was minor trouble. But I don't know. I didn't have to buy the parts, so I don't know. This one has been trouble free. 2 years, I burned up one element. One. And I may have, like I said, sorted it out or something, that element there. I don't know. But the rest of them has been perfect. Great. It's up to y'all. Alright then. Hope you enjoyed it. Later.